So if you need something for your head, if you're on your back, you can have that. I think we're the only kids here in Monaco. Kids. Me and my friend. Everyone else back to school. So we'll begin. We'll get settled. Let's get seated. Being present. Seeing how the body feels. Bringing into the mind this beautiful setting, the calm water, the lush forest. One more breath here. And try to start to align where you feel the abdominals working a little bit, pulling up from the crown of the head, aligning the ears over the shoulders. Beautiful. So we'll get settled on our back on the mat, beginning with a full body stretch. Full body stretch. The day seems to wear us down. We seem to shrink after the day, so let's make ourselves nice and tall. Pointing the toes, pointing the fingers. Breathe to the belly. And when you're ready, we're going to move into Bananasana on the right side, a nice little side stretch, bringing the feet and the hands over to the right side. One more breath. Come back to center. And Bananasana on the left side. Breathe to the belly. Feel that beautiful stretch. Beautiful. One more breath. Let's bring it all the way back to center. Bring one knee into the chest, bring the other knee into the chest, holding on. Keeping the feet at hip distance, not bringing them together. Let's bring those knees out to the side. Flex the feet for modified happy baby. Relax those shoulders back. Wonderful. Bring those knees back to hip distance. Drop the left foot down. Cross the right over the left for a little figure four. You can stay here, flexing the feet, settling the back, settling the shoulders. Or you can bring that knee into the chest, holding on underneath, flex the feet. One more breath. Release that left leg, bring it down. Uncross those legs. Beautiful. Cross on the other side. Left over right. Settle the back, settle the shoulders. Those shoulders want to curl in all the time. And then picking up that knee, flexing the feet and holding on. This is where you can feel the lower back settling, those hips settling. Feeling all those activities from the day. Let's release that leg, bring it down. Bring both feet to the earth. And then we're going to drop the knees over to the left side first. You can have them stacked on top of each other or one behind the other. Both shoulders on the mat, palms face up. One more breath. Bringing those knees up to center and bringing it over to the right side. One more breath. Beautiful. Bring those knees back to center. Make sure everything comes back to center nice and straight. And then bring those feet up to the sky, flexing those feet. Bring the arms up right at shoulder height. Allow that gravity, that weight to bring them back, just like we do in dead bug. We're going to start a little more energy. We're going to bring the right hand back up overhead as we drop the left leg and then exchange, alternating. Takes a moment sometimes. Getting the mind refocused here. There we go. Two more. Using those abdominals. Perfect. Bring those knees into the chest and hold. We're going to rock up to our first boat. Make sure you're nice and comfortable. You want a little momentum, bringing those feet up and back until you can come up to those sit bones. We'll see how it works on the sand. And coming all the way up to boat, up to those sit bones. Powerful warrior fingers. Flex the feet. Breathe. And then cross at the ankles and coming all the way up to seated position. Hands on the front of the knees. Be up nice and tall through the crown of the head. And then we're going to come forward, fold. You can have the legs one in front of the other if that's more comfortable. All the way forward, bringing the hands in front on the fingertips. Nice long line from the crown of the head all the way to the sit bones. Beautiful. Come all the way back up. We're going to exchange the legs. So bring the other one in front. And try to have them parallel if you have, or you prefer them crossed. Still bring the other opposite one in front. Be up nice and tall. And then start to come forward, folding as you can, bringing those hands in front. Finding one side easier than the other. One more breath. Beautiful, coming all the way up. Let's bring those legs behind us into tabletop. Into beautiful tabletop. Push through the shoulders. You can tuck in the toes if you want that extra little toe stretch and push into those feet. Spread the fingers. Beautiful. Let's bring some cat-cow, some motion here to the spine. You can make it as subtle or as grand as you like, moving forwards and back. For two more. Beautiful. When you're ready, bringing that right hand forward, that left foot back. Flex the foot and fold. Beautiful. Keep those shoulders square. Those hips square, not dropping. Beautiful. Bring the right hand down, but extend that left leg behind the right leg. Nice and straight, coming into a side plank, raising that left hand up. And you can even raise up that left leg if you like. Breathe. Come all the way back to center. Bring down the left hand, but bring that left foot all the way through between the hands, placing it down. Tuck in the back toes, coming all the way up to a crescent lunge. Hands on the hips, looking forward. We're going to ignite the hands in front of us, straightening those hands, clasping the fingers, pointer fingers in front, and bring it up to the ears if you can. You can bend that back knee if you need to, if there's any uncomfortableness in the lower back. Breathe. One more breath. Bringing those hands all the way forward, keeping those fingers clasped if you can. And we're going to lift right into a warrior three. So coming forward, lifting that back foot, looking at something not moving, and breathe. Beautiful. As you bring that back foot down, bring the hands up, still clasped. Bring that knee all the way forward, in front, flex the foot. Be up nice and tall. Beautiful. Place that foot down, keeping the hands lifted. Pull up through the crown of the head, tuck in the rib cage, and flex all the way over to the right side. Inhale, center. Exhale over to the left side. Inhale, center. Over to the right side. Inhale, center. Over to the left side. Bring it all the way up. Dropping the hands down by your side, mountain pose. Looking at the feet. They need to be corrected, a hip distance, spread the toes. And breathe. Let those shoulders drop. Beautiful. Saying goodbye to the sun. Inhale those arms all the way up. You can take a slight back bend if you like here. Exhale, forward fold. Allow those arms to dangle. Let the top of the head come towards the mat. Feel that length in the spine. See if you can bring the weight forward in your feet. One more breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Flatten that back. Exhale, step it back, high plank or knees. Breathe. Beautiful. Chaturanga or knees to chest. And then bring it forward, an upward facing dog or cobra. Shine that heart. Lower down if you need to. And we're just going to lift up the hips and bring those hips all the way back for child's pose. You can bring the knees out to the side more if you like. For one more breath. And then inhale, coming up to tabletop. Stabilize everything, pushing through the stomach, through the shoulders, spread the fingers, straighten the spine. And then we're gonna lift the left hand this time and lifting the right leg back and hold. Don't drop the shoulders, don't drop the hips. One more breath. Beautiful. Dropping that left hand down, extending that right leg behind the left. Bring the hips on top of each other. Bring that right hand up, side plank. And you can lift up that right leg if you like. Breathe. Squeeze the glutes. Squeeze the thighs. One more breath. Bring that right hand down. Square those hips back and bring that right leg in between the hands. Look at something not moving. Coming all the way up, crescent lunge. Hands on the hips at first. Push back into that heel. Tuck in the belly. And again, if there's any uncomfortableness in the knee, you can always bend that back knee, straightening out the hips a little bit. Let's bring the hands forward, clasping the fingers, pointer fingers. And when you're ready, raising them all the way up beside the ears. Beautiful. Bringing them forward. Look at something not moving, getting ready for that warrior three. Coming forward, lifting off. One more breath. Beautiful. As you bring that back leg, bending the knee, bringing it all the way up to hip. Hands coming up, right beside the ears. Beautiful. Place that foot down. Beautiful. We're gonna do a little tick-tock. Inhale up. Exhale over to the right. Inhale up. Exhale over to the left. Inhale up. Exhale over to the right. Inhale up. Exhale over to the left. Come all the way up and dropping the hands right beside you. Mountain pose. Breathe. Look at the distance of your feet. Spread your toes. Beautiful. Let's tuck in the belly, tuck in the rib cage. Bring those hands forward as we come into a chair. Play with the distribution of your weight in the heels, in the front of the feet, and then sink into the heels, coming back. Breathe. Beautiful. Forward fold as you lift the hips. And let everything go here, shaking out the arms. You can shake it out, yes, shake it out, no. Beautiful. One more breath. And then let's come all the way up, rolling up. Rolling all the way up, shoulders come back. And then let's open up to the side of the mat. More than hip distance apart. Make sure you're not rolling those hips forward, roll them back. Shoulders back. You can keep the hands on the hips if you like. Making sure those knees are coming out, not in. So play around with the heels, the toes. And then you really have to work on that abdominal pulling up, rib cage up. And then let's plie, let's get into a lower squat here. Breathe. Beautiful. Let's shift our weight over to the left side, back to center, a little bit over to the right side, back to center. Beautiful. See if we can get a little bit lower here. Maybe bringing the hands at center. Very wide squat. See if you can keep that chest lifted, belly engaged. You can bring the hands to the thighs, keeping those knees out. For one more breath here. And then let's bring the hands to the ground, lift the hips, straighten the legs. Trying to bring that crown of the head all the way to the mat. And then walk those hands between the legs, behind the legs. Wonderful. Walk them back to center in front. And then let's walk them over to the left leg as we forward fold over that left leg. You can always turn the right foot if there's any uncomfortableness with that knee. Breathe. Bring it back to center and bring it over to the right side. Wonderful. Let's bring it back to center. Bring the hands to the hips, come all the way up. Making sure there's no dizziness. Look at something nice and straight. For my case, a tree. And let's bring the legs in a little bit closer to your yogi squat. I always think yogi squat at the end of the day just releases so much tension. Maybe uncomfortable, but it helps. So coming all the way in and down, only coming as low as you can keep that chest high. So if it's more of a football squat, as long as you can keep that Michael Jackson hip flexor and keeping that chest lifted, you can come as high as you need to. As low as you can go, as they say in the limbo. And breathe. Look at this peaceful water. And bring the hands to the mat. Lift the hips back up for a last forward fold here in the side bend. And then come all the way up. Hands can come on the hips. Again, making sure your gaze comes back to neutral. And then you can come to the front of the mat. Stepping at the front of the mat. Back into your mountain pose. Feel all that lengthening that just happened in the hips, in the legs. Beautiful. As we inhale those arms up, we're gonna flow. Good night to the sun. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back, high plank. Forward to knees. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra. To downward facing dog. Walk in the feet as the first downward facing dog. Beautiful, but we have all that stretch already going on. Beautiful, come forward, high plank. Drop the knees, untuck the toes, lower all the way down to the belly. Hands stay underneath the shoulders, elbows nice and close. We're just gonna push up into a baby cobra, lifting the chest. Legs are active, glutes are active. Beautiful, bring your forehead to the mat. For this next one, you have two options, or many options. You can bring your hands beside you, palms facing down, and you're gonna lift the chest, pushing into those hands. Or if you like a little more shoulder opener, you can bring those hands behind you, clasping those fingers, drawing those shoulders back, and then lift the chest. So take which one you want to take. Make sure the legs are active, glutes are active, belly is active, and lift up when you're ready. Breathe. You come all the way down. Relax those arms beside you. Maybe wiggle out the hips. You can bring those hands underneath the forehead if you like, or little goddess arms. Up to you. We're gonna bring that left knee out to the side. Point that left foot out. I'm just gonna get that hip back in place from the day. Let gravity drop that hip. Don't force it. One more breath here. Nice and long. Full exhale. And then bring back that leg. And let's go on the right side, pointing that foot out. I can see the moon already out. Relax those hips. The sky is painted with a beautiful paintbrush. You're doing all these postures to release the day. Work on the range of motion. Those beautiful arms and warriors. Bring back the shoulders. Now we're bringing back the hips. One more breath here. And bring back that leg back underneath you. Bring those hands back underneath the shoulders, elbows nice and close. Beautiful. We're going to push up to the knees, so tuck in the toes. Ignite the belly and push up to the knees and hold. Feel that fire in the belly. Beautiful. Lift the hips just to be aligned with the knees, keeping those hips lifted though, and then sink the forehead towards the mat. Puppy pose or melted heart. One more breath. And then push up to tabletop, bringing those hands back underneath the shoulders. Realign here. And when you're ready, we're going to push all the way up to downward facing dog. Tuck in the toes. Bring weight back into the heels and lift up. Downward facing dog. You can walk out the dog. You can pedal those heels to the mat. You can walk the feet in closer. One more breath. And then we're going to lift the right leg back up to the sky. Bend the knees, stack the hips, open up, look through the right arm, underneath the right arm, and breathe. Beautiful. Bring the hips back square to the mat and bring that right knee all the way through for half pigeon behind that right wrist. Extend the left leg, making sure that left leg is actually straight so that heel isn't turned in or out. It's nice and straight. Point the toes and then square the hips, not dipping over to one side. If you need to stay up on the hands to keep those hips square, do so, or layer down if you can. Lower down all the way. And breathe. One more breath. Beautiful. Meeting up on the hands. Having to be seated on that right side. Bend that back knee. Bring that leg all the way through over to the other side. Right foot comes into the thigh. Left leg is straight out to the side and as wide as you'd like to take that opening. Yep, nice and tall. And when you feel nice and tall, bring that left arm down that left leg. Square the chest open. Stack the shoulders on top of each other as you bring that right arm as far as it can go over the head without dropping that shoulder. Keep it nice and open. And breathe. Beautiful. Let's bring it all the way back to center. Drop that right hand to the right side. Left hand comes to the right thigh for a little twist. Looking over the shoulder. One more breath. And come back to center. We're going to meet all the way in that half pigeon, bending that straight leg. Bring it behind you, that left leg. Squaring the hips, half pigeon. And back into our downward facing dog when you're ready. Lift back. Lift those hips. Feel the difference in the legs. Feel the difference in the hips. One more breath. Lift the left leg all the way back. Point it. Settle the hips back, back, back. Bend that knee. Stack the hips. Looking through the left arm. Underneath. Breathe. One more breath. Bring it back to center the hips. Bring that left knee behind the left wrist. Half pigeon on the left side. Straighten that leg. Look behind you. That leg. Square the shoulders. Square the hips. And lower down if you like.
Yep. Because it's going to be dark really soon. Okay.
I know. They didn't listen to me when I
Gotta wait till you.
Well, if we stay close to shore, we'll probably be okay.
For 2 more breaths. Okay. I'm going to meet you up on the hands. Come to be seated on the left side, bending that back knee. Bring it all the way forward. Extend it. Extending the right leg, left leg, and the thigh. Find those sit bones again. Be nice and tall. Beautiful. When you're ready, bring that right hand down the right leg, squaring the shoulders on top of each other, opening up the heart, extending that left arm overhead, allowing that leg to settle, the hip to open up, the side to open up. Breathe. One more breath here. Beautiful. Open up wide, all the way to center. Left hand comes behind. Right hand comes to the left thigh. For a twist, looking over that shoulder. Breathe. You can't get much more peaceful than this. Coming back to center. Now let's just bring both knees in front of us, planting those feet in front of us, giving ourselves a nice little hug, rounding the back. Chin into chest. The feet are planted hip distance apart. You can hold on just to the shins and then raise the chin up, bring those shoulders back. Slight back bend, very slight. And then bring it in, round the back, bring the chin into chest. One more time, open up. And then bring it back to neutral. Find those sit bones. Lengthen through the hands, warrior fingers, extend them. Come back slightly where you feel that belly activated. From the hips, shoulders back. Lift the legs if you wish for a boat. Extend that boat. Low boat. Open up. Bring it in. Open up. Bring it in. Open up. And lower down. All the way down. Let the shoulders drop. You let the feet flop open. One more breath here. Let's activate the legs. Let the feet point up. Activating all of the legs. Bring in that belly. We're going to come up to a boat again, but this time a straight leg boat, if that works for you. A nice V formation. Bring up the arms, and we're going to pull all the way up to that V. All the way up to that V. Breathe. Getting us ready for the rest of the week. Fire in the belly. Lower down with control. Not so much control. Don't worry, you have another opportunity here. Bring it up to that V. Bring up the arms. Bring it all the way up to the sit bones. Breathe. Lower down. Good work. Bring the arms up overhead, wherever's comfortable for a full body stretch. Point those toes. Breathe to the belly. Beautiful. Bring that right knee into the chest and hold. Bring that right knee into the chest and hold. And then using my left hand, I'm going to cross the body with that knee over to the left side. Extend my right hand over to the right side for a different kind of supine twist. Feeling it all in the thigh, in the glute. Beautiful. Bring it back to center. Lower down that right leg. Bring that left knee into the chest and hold. When you're ready, that right hand holds onto the outside of that left leg. Bring it all the way over to the right side. Open up that left arm. It's okay if the hip lifts off, of course. You want to try to keep the shoulders down. As these beautiful waves come in. And breathe. One more breath. Bring it all the way back to center. Bring both feet to the mat. Make sure you're nice and straight. Maybe windshield wiper it out. Find that length in the spine, shoulders back, palms facing up. And then we're going to bring them into butterfly legs here, reclined butterfly. Soles of the feet together. Making sure you have a little pelvis tilt. Keeping that back comfortably on the mat. You can bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. Bringing everything in balance for the week. And the start of next week with the elections. Let's make sure we're in balance. We found our own internal peace. And on the next breath, you can release the hands, bringing those knees together. We're going to come into one last little ball. Bring the chin into chest. Bring the knees into the chest, hugging those knees. Bring it all in. Bring it all in. Hugs here. Bring it all in. And then release it for Shavasana. Or if you need one last posture, finding whatever posture works for you so that you can settle into Shavasana. And when you've settled into this last posture, follow those 3 deep breaths. Inhale fully. Exhale fully, waiting for that next breath to be asked for. Relax the jaw. Soften your gaze. Sun comes down, indicating it's time for rest. Bring subtleness to your breath. Relaxing all the legs, all the belly, all the arms. When you're ready, taking a deep breath. Use that energy from the breath to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, slowly exhaling. Maybe moving the legs side to side, bringing just a subtle energy to the body, enough to get into pajamas and settle into sleep. Bringing one foot to the mat, bringing the other foot to the mat, and bringing it all over to one side for fetal position, one hand under the head. Finding gratitude for this day and all the days to follow. And finding your own unique way to find your sit bones again, coming all the way up. Finding your own unique way to get nice and tall, activate through the belly, through the crown of the head. Keeping that heart lifted. For all the weeks to come, may we always lead with our heart, finding patience and finding peace. Lift up those arms, final breath. Bring it in through center, aligning the mind to the heart and to our intuition. Namaste.